Yo, it's your boy Cool Blue back again with another video here on the channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in today. Today is April 15th, 2021, and the title of the episode is Fresh New Faces in the Lineup and the Ghost Man Giving Back to the Community. So what's going on, everybody? It's been a couple days since I've posted up on the channel. I've been really out of it lately. Been very busy with life and my real job. This is something that I've been trying to get up and running off the ground, so bear with me. There hasn't been much to report on the channel, not much to talk about, but today we got some interesting news. I don't know if anyone really watched the full game against the Capitals the other night. It was a complete shit show. The Flyers, once again, just basically proved that they're not a good team. This is not their year. I think I watched maybe like 5 minutes of it, and I honestly turned it off. It was the first game of the year that I turned off for the Philadelphia Flyers. And that doesn't happen all the time. And I will say it does happen in other sports. Football, baseball, basketball, I will turn the game off if it's a blowout. Just because I'm not gonna waste my time on. It's not that I'm giving up on my teams. It's that I literally am not going to support the product that they're giving me if they're not giving me what I want. And what I want is to win, and what I want is effort. If you're gonna lose with some dignity and some pride. The Flyers have not been doing that. It was one thing when before the trade deadline, just to see what was going to happen. It's another thing after the trade deadline comes up. You're getting further and further out of a playoff spot. We have now fallen to the 6th seed, which I believe we were tied with the Rangers at one point. The Rangers are now at 46 points in the 5th seed. Or I'm sorry, in the 5th place spot in the division. We are now at 44 points, was in the 6th spot in the division. Boston has now climbed to 50. Pittsburgh is now at 56 points. So Washington obviously out of reach. Islanders out of reach. Pittsburgh pretty much out of reach. Boston is literally the only team that we could probably catch, but you have to go through Rangers. You have to go through Boston to get there as far as points in the standings and the tiebreakers. It's very, very unlikely that we would ever have a chance to get into the playoffs. Now, am I saying that it's completely out of reach? No, it technically is not out of reach. We do have, let's see, we have 6, 9, 12. We have 14 games left. That's 28 points. And Boston is only 6 points ahead of us. So technically, we are not statistically out of the standings and points-wise. But realistically, we kind of are. So with that said, I did turn off the game for the first time this season. It's the first game I honestly, I want to just say I missed it because I didn't even watch it enough. But yeah, so with that said, we have some news for tonight's game, and tonight's game should be interesting for a couple reasons. The first reason why it's going to be interesting is because the Flyers have called up Wade Allison to the lineup for his official debut in the NHL. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure he's excited. I'm sure he's got some butterflies in his stomach. I'm sure he's I'm sure he's a little nervous. But I'm sure he's excited. We will definitely see what he has to offer. I'm still waiting for Cam York to come up. That would be kind of cool to see this year. Basically, at this point, there's nothing that I actually there's nothing that I won't mind seeing as far as bringing some of the young guys up to see how they will do in the NHL and within our lineup. I mean, we're at the point now where we might as well. We're not really fighting for a season. I mean, I guess we are technically, but to be honest with you, the lineup that we've been using for the past 2-3 months, all season long, it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. So, it's time to do something different. We juggled the lineups as much as we can. We have, put people up, we brought people up, we put people down, blah blah blah. We've switched goalies, and we had what's it called, Alex Lyon in for a game. We sat Carter Hart for a couple of games. We'd even let Carter Hart dress for a couple of games. Same thing with Moose. It just hasn't worked. And with the trade deadline, where we are in the standings, the front office basically didn't make any real hard hitting moves to the roster. If anything, they just kind of wiggle room some cap space, but other than that, they basically said, no, this is a fluke season, this is a COVID year. We like the roster that we have. We've seen them actually do well prior to COVID, and we are going to stick with these guys, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to open up some cap space to try and potentially go out and sign someone that we need on our team that will make our team better. We saw that we got rid of Gustafsson. Not a big surprise there. He didn't really do too much, in my opinion, to boost his team into a Stanley Cup contender. We did re-sign Lawton. I think that was a good signing. We didn't overpay him. We also didn't underpay him either. I think Lawton does contribute a lot, especially on the defensive and the penalty kill aspect of the game. He does score. I don't rely on him to score, but he does have timely goals, which is nice. You do need some guys that sit down there on the fourth and third line that can also play on the second and first if needed to be, but can also put the puck in the net. You don't rely on it, but he can get hot. He can get streaky. But I think his defensive game, and like I said, his play on the penalty kill unit outweighs him not scoring as much as some of the other guys on the roster. He's a role player. He fits his role very well. And he's very physical too. Like, he's not a guy that goes out there and lets people push him around. I don't consider him an instigator, but I think he has respect around the league for his role that he plays in the NHL and on the Philadelphia Flyers. But moving on to Michael Raffl, I've sat on this for a couple of days, and I've thought about getting rid of him. And I'll be honest with you, at first I was like, okay, I don't care, we can get rid of him, whatever. And then I really thought about it. And why do I feel that way? The way I feel is he's been on the team for a very long time. Now, there's some other guys on the team that have been on the team for a very long time, like Jake Voracek, Claude Giroux, that I just don't think. You have two sides of the argument. You have people that want to see Giroux and Voracek leave, and then you have other people that say, "Oh no, they're too good. They're too valuable. You can't get rid of them." Now, for this conversation, I am just going to talk about Michael Raffl, because I think that Michael Raffl is also one of those players that he's been on the team long enough. And has he had great moments? Yes. Is he good enough where if he walks away, your team is going to fall apart? No, I don't think that will happen. I think that he is a role player. He played his role very well, just like Scott Lawton. But I think that both of those guys on the team, I don't think that the direction that our team's headed, I don't think that there's room for both of them on the team anymore. We need more skill. We need more talent. We need people that can get the puck to our playmakers. Unfortunately, I don't think Raffl fits that. Also, Raffl has been plagued by the injury ghost. He's been injured every season for the last 4 years. Now, is that his fault? No, because he plays hard. He dives in front of the puck. He lays down in front of the net. He blocks shots. He plays hard. He's physical. So that's a lot of wear and tear on someone's body. But I just don't think that we could afford to pay Raffl and Lawton, two very similar type players, knowing that we have a farm system that has a lot of skill, that has a lot of potential young talent. So I think that the move was smart. Financially, I think that the move was there was good timing. But I used Giroux and Voracek as an example because that is definitely a conversation that we can have in a different episode. We're not going to talk about them today because the season's not over. We'll reevaluate everyone when the season is over. But I was just using that because those two are the big names on the team that everyone discusses and everyone debates about whether or not they should be moved off the roster or they should stay on the roster. But Michael, I was just using that to comparison to Michael Raffle. But yeah, so we have Wade Allison coming up from the minor leagues, and he's getting his NHL debut tonight with the Philadelphia Flyers. What's very interesting about this and what's very exciting about this is not only is he coming up, but he's coming up against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Pens. We hate the Penguins. So it's a division rival against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Wade Allison's first game. And not only is it his first game, but the Penguins just got Jeff Carter. They just got Jeff Carter. Oh, man. This is a dagger. We got to beat the Pens tonight. I don't even care if we're out of the standings, but we got to beat the Penguins tonight with Jeff Carter and on that roster. I'm not even kidding, man. Like, Carter Hart is confirmed. We got Jerry in net for the ugly fucking Penguins. But we got to win this game. I don't care. I hope we see Wade Allison come up and just like light it up. I think it'd be kind of cool. Where's his name? I don't see his name in the lineup. I thought he was playing. These are projected lineups. I'm looking at the app and I don't see his name on here. I feel like the app's never right. That's just all I'm saying. Yep, Jeff Carter though. They got Jeff Carter in there. Yeah, I feel like this app's not right. Yeah. So shifting over to a different topic, an article came out about Shane Gostisbehere and all the things that Shane Gostisbehere does within the community to give back. And it's a really interesting article. I read it, and it can be very inspiring depending on who reads it. I find it to be very interesting. I find it to be very inspiring in certain ways. So the first thing is Shane Gostisbehere and his fiancee Gina. They've been living in the city of Philadelphia. They call it their home. And one of the things the first thing in the article that they talk about is they talk about how Shane Gostisbehere, the man they call Ghost, we'll just say Ghost from now on, how Ghost really used his platform to reach out about the N95 mask shortage back when the COVID-19 pandemic first hit. And it was mainly for his fiance, because she works at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. If you don't know what that is, it's also known as CHOP. That's like, it's a very popular hospital in the Philadelphia area and all over the country too. People from all over the country come to Philadelphia for that hospital. It's a very well-respected hospital. It's a good hospital, and he used his platform to get shortages because of the shortage of the N95 masks in the beginning of the pandemic. He used this platform to reach out to help get donations of masks to the frontline workers in the hospital. So kudos to Shane Gostisbehere. Thank you to his fiance for being on the front lines. I'm sure many people find that to be very inspiring, and as well as they should. But the other thing that kind of hits more for me, because I won't say I'm like a pet in animal finanza, but I do appreciate people that help animals that are sick, that are in need, and that are abused. And Shane Gostisbehere and his fiance, they have always been a part of the awareness of mistreated animals and animals that need care. And I just think that that's really cool. You know, Shane Gostisbehere uses his platform for a very, very special thing, and it's to give back. It's to make children aware of animal cruelty, which is really, really great, because honestly, not all athletes use their platform for good. Not all athletes use their platform at all. So when you see somebody like Shane Gostisbehere, who, by the way, has been under the microscope for the player on the ice in the city for a while, it's really nice that, like, no matter what, he's a professional. And to be honest with you, he doesn't bring what he's doing in the community onto the ice. He leaves it outside of the ice, but he uses his platform that he's gained on the ice to do those things in the community. And I think that's really awesome. And I think that more hockey players and all-around professionals throughout the world should use Shane Gostisbehere as an example, and they should do the same, because if everyone stepped up and they did something, or took a awareness program like the SPCA, and they went out and they educated kids on different topics in the world, I think that the world would really, really change, and for the good. And I think everyone can agree that we need that more now than ever. So thank you, Shane Gostisbehere, for doing that. Thank you for his fiance and his future wife for doing that. I think that's really cool. I think that's really awesome. So thank you. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of leave it on that good note right there. Tune in tonight if you want to see Wade Allison in his official NHL debut. I think it's going to be really cool. We're going up against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Carter Hart's in net, so that's always exciting. Most nights it's always exciting, unless he's getting blown out. But we don't always put that on him. But it's in Pittsburgh. Wade Allison's first NHL game against a Pittsburgh team that just acquired Jeff Carter. Oh, that makes me mad. But tune in. Game puck drops around 7 o'clock. It's in Pittsburgh. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. All the love is greatly appreciated. And turn on that bell for notifications. You'll be notified anytime I do a live stream or post a video up on the channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you next video. Go Flyers.